Hello dear CLAT aspirants. So we are here with another video, and this video is regarding the preference list. And I have invited Naresh sir here, and the reason is our last video, which was about cutoff. Sir, it came out very accurate, and the comment box was filled with the comments regarding the accuracy. No other institute has even come closer to what we have predicted. Starting from the top rank, we said All India rank would be scoring this, to end. Towards end, we saw little deviation. That anyhow we explained in the video itself, that how coming lower, and we did a wonderful calculation, technical calculation, and we came out very close to that. And in this video, we'll be discussing about preference list. A lot of people think that preference list it's only one document, and there is no understanding which is required for preference list. So we'll be talking about that as well. For that, I think your expertise is required.
Great, thanks a lot, Chandan, for inviting me. Generally, I think Chandan, you guys, you, Krishna, and team, you all try to speak to students. And whenever you guys invite me for Abhyas Law Prep product, I feel good about it. Okay, so thank you. Keep calling me once in a while. And I'm very happy when you said that the cutoffs have come very close, and you've actually shown me a few comments.
Right.
So I believe, to be fair, I believe I'll give ourselves a distinction. 7 out of 10 for the way we have predicted cutoffs. It has come out very good after the last year 120 marks debacle and stuff. I think the mean has been on bullseye.
Right.
We were able to predict that the mean will be 4 or 5 marks lower. So whatever was the rank around 90 last time, we said it will be around 85, 86. That's happened exactly. I think the standard deviation, we expected the standard deviation to bulge a little more than it was 8, 9 last time. I expected it to be 13. I think it was not so bulging. It was around 10, 11. So I believe in that context, I'll give ourselves a 70% marks. And I'm very happy when you shown me that a lot of people were appreciating. And some people also, you told me that they were thinking of this, why so much technical analysis, statistical analysis for something like CLAT? Is it the stock market and stuff? Yeah, but it is bigger than stock market according to me. So I think scientifically, whenever we need to predict cutoffs, we need to be scientifically. And I'm very happy we have done that. And this should help us do better in the future years. And today also, I think NLU preference order, I'm here. I think you have done your work, but wherever you need me to kind of give my inputs, I'll be happy to do that.
So the first thing what we have here is the overview. So there's a lot of confusion. The first thing is the consortium has said that you can fill minimum of 15 courses.
Now,
this is first thing that we need to tell our audience, that what you're filling there is not NLU preference. You are actually filling the course preference. Now some NLUs do offer only single courses, but there are a lot of NLUs which offer multiple courses, and within the courses itself there has to be some priority that you have to adjudge and you have to keep according.
I get it. I think I remember distinctly CAT does the same thing. IIMs do the same thing for MBA courses. There's some IIMs like IIM Calcutta which have multiple courses. So what happens is people kind of mistake. There's a course preference versus NLU preference. This time, I think for the first time, CLAT has come up with a very clear idea. You're not doing the 24 odd NLUs, but you're doing 35 odd courses. So please understand, this time preference order is for courses, not NLUs themselves.
Apart from that, sir, there is this big interplay between the choice, ranking, and preference, which people are often confused with. They say that, sir, mera ST mein my rank is this. So then I should be preferring this over this, or I am domiciled at this particular place, so therefore I should keep this NLU over this NLU. But as we were discussing earlier, that largely the NLU preference list is a single document. No matter what are your considerations, it should not fluctuate. Apart from those considerations which we have talked in the AI.
I think, Chandan, to add to this, a lot of people see the preference. The good thing is CLAT consortium. I and you and students might have a lot of complaints with their key and this thing. But one thing we should actually appreciate them is the word they put preference order. Right? This itself should give you an idea what they should be focusing on, what students and parents should be focusing on when they're filling this preference order. Please understand, for your rank, for your whatever category, rank, etc. you have, you know where you might land up, which seat you might get. But please understand that should not actually be taken into consideration when you fill the preference list, because it's at the end of the day preference list. Please understand, assume you have a particular rank, you're definitely sure to get a particular seat. Wherever you fill that seat will be allocated to you. Don't worry about it. Don't assume if you have a chance to get into a school, top school like Nalsar, if you don't fill it at one, someone who filled it on one will get a more preference than you. That's not going to happen. You are, even if you prefer it at second, third, I don't know, it doesn't matter. So that's first clarity I want to give you. That doesn't matter, right? Ranking of NLUs and your preference has to be planned, right? Generally speaking, priority of ranking of the NLUs, ranking of the courses generally should be the preference order with some deviations which we are talking about. That's one thing that I want.
So there are deviation, but definitely domicile or you predicting that ये NLU तो मिल जाएगा,
that is not
at all a consideration.
That cannot be the reason. Why would for example Abhyas Law Prep team, our team, Chandan and team have worked together and developed the I think 4-tier structure.
Yeah,
4-tier structure. This time we are not talking about NLU's 4-tier structure, but courses themselves.
4-tier.
The 35 odd courses that we have,
right,
they were divided into 4-tier structure. That will be given to you. That's a generic one document that can be used by one and all, right? But do understand, there can be minor modifications to that list, but that's not because you will get this seat, you for this rank, for this seat, for this domicile. No, we're going to talk about some other personal considerations. What are the customizations one ought to do to ensure that their choice is distinct. Please remember one thing, a lot of times we have seen students, we can take one example case, Chandan. There's a student last year who was of a, for example, Maharashtra domicile.
Right.
They were they preferred NLU Mumbai as a seat they might get. They were not sure of getting NLSR.
Right.
They were not sure, 50-50 about NLSR, but they were sure of getting NLU Mumbai.
Yeah.
So what happened was they preferred, I'll get NLU Mumbai, let me put it in the top. NLSR was put somewhere down. And what happened was, in the subsequent list, they can only
got a chance to NLSR, but
they could only up because already they put NLU Mumbai, you cannot go back. So please understand, chances where you are 50-50, you want to upgrade, it has to be upper, it cannot be lower. That's a broad context that we want to share. Yes.
So before we get into that customization thing, there are questions and that we'll answer. But before that, this is the list that we have prepared. In tier 1, this shows within the tier how we are indicating. Again, there can be certain factors based on which you can make modifications, but this is what
generally tier. This is the tier.
In tier 1 firm, these are the 4 NLUs and the order in which I would place them.
Yeah, I think why don't we read out the names so they have a better idea.
Right.
We're talking about
the NLSIU Bangalore is at first, NLSR is at second, NUJS West Bengal is at third. Now, within this, there are 2 courses, the BSc course and the BA LLB course. I have kept BA LLB over
BA LLB is a traditional classical course that is being put as number 3. But NUJ's 4th new course also can be put as a second course, can also be this time you have to put both. You cannot select one and leave. If you want a seat in NUJ's, you have to select both of them. That's the thing. Yeah, that's why we put them separately. Yes.
Coming to tier 2, we have kept Jodhpur at first in this. And then we have NLIU Bhopal. In NLIU Bhopal, there are 2 courses yet again. Now, BA LLB honors, we have kept above the BSc LLB honors. Usually the
again, I'll tell you, for the standard list suggestion is based on the predominant order.
Right.
We'll talk about customizations of the course later.
Customization.
Yes.
But this is largely what people are
prefer and stuff. Yeah.
Then we have GNLU Gandhinagar followed by NLU Mumbai, one of the latest which has made it.
But it has made it to top tiers, yes. Right.
The reason is, sir, it's located in Mumbai. Then we have Hidayatullah National University Raipur at 6th and 7th. We have
RMNLU Lucknow. And
at the end we have
RGNLU Patiala Punjab. Yes. Yeah. Right. This is tier 2. Right.
Tier 2.
Yeah.
Coming to tier 3, NLU Odisha. NLU Odisha, we were speculating should we keep it in tier 2 or tier 3, but based on the rankings, they are kept at tier 3. But if again the factors that customization, I think
but I would want to say NLU Odisha is one of those. It's in fact older NLUs than some of the new ones.
Correct.
I think, but some of the new ones are going above it also.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we want to say. Yeah. I think these are the new set of NLUs which are not very new, but they have done some work. I think these over time will get into the top place. Yes.
Growth is
absolutely.
Then we have GNLU Silvassa campus
because GNLU's brand we're giving it up.
Right. And moreover, the cutoff also seems to be.
It indicates right, the preference ranking based on a couple of years. We can say that's being that kind of student. At the end of the day, what does ranking preference order indicate? It means smart students are the more.
Correct. It's not about college, but rather the community. The communities of these smart better.
Absolutely.
Then we have Ranchi, NLU Ranchi, followed by NLU Kochi, and then we have CNLU, and then
CNLU Patna.
Kochi second course, and then DSNLU is there.
You put CNLU in between Kochi's 2 courses, right? Okay, got it. Yeah.
So then we have DSNLU, then we have Tamil Nadu National University.
TNLU Trichy 2 courses again. Yeah.
Now, apart from these 2, I would say that for others, the considerations that we are going to talk about, a lot of changes.
There will be a lot of customization that will happen in tier 3 for sure. A lot of people in tier 1, tier 2, not too much of changes, but within tier, again I'm saying tier 3 compared to tier 4, no, these are to be preferred. But within tier 3, you will definitely, because all of them are almost in the same zone, you will have some kind of personalization that we'll discuss toward the end.
So I am from BSNLU and I have seen a lot of people not preferring to go to Patna and they stayed in CNLU, and we are.
I think Chandan, when I discussed with you, I remember, during your recruitment and stuff we discussed, a lot of times I believe people have this mistaken notion, DSNLU, students from Andhra, I'll just give you an idea, right? Andhra, people who have a domicile factor in DSNLU,
yeah.
they somehow seem to assume that DSNLU level or something is very different from top attempts.
Just because domicile.
I want to just give an idea. Those students who make it to Nalsar from Telangana quota,
right,
they go up to 700, 800,000 ranks.
1,000 rank.
Whereas the people in DSNLU from All India quota end around 1,500, right? 1,200
Start
in the
at
first
800.
list. Yes, 800 and go end at 1,200 in the first list, and by maybe latest list,
fifth list, 13, 14.
Right. So if you understand the students, right? The second 50 percentile student of Nalsar and the top first majority of the students in DSNLU at the same level.
Right.
So the big mistake that people make is just because these NLUs are new. See, these are not fairly new. There are new NLUs after this also. These are in the top 15. The next ones come, right? So it's important for you to understand. Don't mistake that. And then within Kochi, Vizag, and Trichy and stuff, all these things, there's a personalization that we need to do for sure. That's what we need to counter. Yes.
Then we have the tier 4. Within tier 4, again, there can be a lot of adjustment because there's no much difference. It's only based on the year it's established and the recognition it has gained. They have kept the new entry, the IIU LER Goa, which is very.
I think I'll call it generally. I call when people ask me because it's a difficult name to read out. I say, Sanjan, call it Bar Council of India College. This is a college very interesting. It's called Bar Council of India's launch. It's a very beautiful concept. I think it's a very premier. I mean, in terms
because it's unique, it will get its own attention and everything.
Over time, I'm confident, Chandan.
Right. So we were of the view that should we keep it at top or should we keep it with tier 3? We were of the view that again student community is not there, so we cannot judge.
I think Chandan, we have done a right job. I think Abhyas Law Prep team has put it in the middle because I believe I think in few years from now you will know. I think my hunch says that it will go into tier 3 eventually. But I think for now you have to obviously put it in the mid tier. Again, within this there will be a lot of fertilizations, customizations that we'll talk about. Yes. Can you read out the names? NLU Nagpur is one thing.
So both the courses, BA LLB followed by BBA LLB. Then we have NLU Aurangabad, BA LLB followed by BBA LLB. Then we have NLU Assam. Then the new entry here, the Bar Council College of India, and then HPNLU Shimla courses I have kept, and then the new entries here. This doesn't make any difference. You can choose any one of them.
Jabalpur, Sonipat, and Agartala. See, Chandan, we also have a Nagpur course on adjudication. That's also there in the next thing. How does it? How are you? Where are you doing it?
Sir, we have kept one customization thing for that.
So we'll talk about that. That's what I'm just trying to. So is it part of this 35? That also is asked this time.
I think it's part of 35.
So I just wanted to say that we did not discuss that. Also can be put in this, right? That's right. Fine.
But within this tier, I think a lot of adjustments can be done. So we will add a PDF of this in the comment box or the description box because the visibility might be a problem. So we'll drop it. But anyhow, the main portion, the important thing of this particular video, we made certain questionnaires, certain myths and everything. And I want Naresh to discuss and tell that how this customization has to be done.
Absolutely.
Right. So the first question is, how should someone's domicile affect the preference order?
I think this is one huge conundrum, one puzzle, one एक चीज है जो all the time बच्चे पूछते हैं. I remember now this is 14 years of my CLAT journey. So in the first 4-5 years, many people have this myth that the higher I put, I'll have a better chance.
Right.
Guys, please understand that's not true. Right? Just because you put a particular college as number 1 chance as compared to someone who's put it as 5th chance, you're not going to get the seat.
Right.
Only if your rank allocates that you'll get. That's a mistake. Right. So my domicile is X, I'll take it. No. Domicile, rank, category should not matter. What should matter though is the word that Chandan and team have put: territory, city. You all have your own
distance, culture.
Yes, you want to be closer to some place. You want to have the food, the culture, all that, the ambience, the temperature, the weather. A lot of these things are distance from your parents. A lot of these factors can make a difference in preference.
And that too within tier it should
absolutely. That preference cannot make you jump from one tier to the other tier.
Correct.
Just because you have a preference of a school in tier 3 that is closer to your home, you would not leave tier 1, tier 2 and go to that.
Right.
Within the tier that you are there, you can obviously give it a fillip and go into a better thing. That's okay because that means after the above ones, within this tier I get a different college, I'm not interested. This is something I prefer. This particular one that I'm closer to, I'm more interested in this. That's what it means. See, someone who is in Andhra, someone who is in Andhra might want to prefer Vizag over Kochi or Trichy, etc. That makes sense. That's a logical thing. But if someone in DSNLU, if say I'll prefer it
or
Nalpur.
JNLU or Jodhpur.
Doesn't make sense. That's the broad concept we are trying to say. Same thing. That's the important thing when it comes to this thing. Someone who wants to be in South India, you're very clear, hey, you want to prefer, like, in the tier 3, you said, hey, we prefer this NLU and Kochi and Trichy as opposed to CNLU. That makes sense. But someone in North India might want to go to CNLU Patna as opposed to these things. But you can't jump from one tier to the other tier. That's the most important.
Within tier, you can
make those things that make sense.
The next question is, which NLU are ideal for UPSC aspirants?
I think while this is too difficult, because then there's a finer aspect to it, but it makes sense, as Abhyas Law Prep, we need to stick our neck out. Sometimes it's controversial, but we need to do that because we're here to help students, and sometimes we make those mistakes. I think the different considerations of why students actually go to NLUs, and it's important for us to give those ideas also, so that they can customize, they can personalize their preferences based on this. And that's why the first question you asked me is about UPSC. I think I give you this thing, UPSC is all about achievement. You go to UPSC, you sit there, you complete your prelims, you complete your mains, and you sit in the interview, and they ask you, why should you be an IAS officer? Why should I confer you? Why should you be IAS, IPS officer as opposed to others? You should be able to tell them, I've already proven myself, because at the age of 23, 24, 25, 26, whenever you're doing it, first, you should be able to kind of say, hey, I have done this already, I have proven myself. And in terms of proving yourself, that's why you see a lot of IIM guys, a lot of IIT guys, a lot of NLU. Again, the topper, the better college you go to, the better this thing, because smarter people preparation is different. In that context, I'll say top brass NLUs, tier 1, tier 2 NLUs will definitely make more sense. That's the idea on UPSC.
So this is something apart from less. NLU D is not.
And one other thing, this is one factor we want to talk about. If someone is, by the way, this is not only about NLU preference, but in case all ALP students and any CLAT takers, if you're very sure about UPSC, what should you take? Prefer colleges in and around Delhi, because what happens is the UPSC ecosystem generally is better in Delhi. Things are changing. Chandan, I'll be honest. I'll say after CSAT got introduced in 2015, I think last 4-5 years I see the UPSC ecosystem develop in other cities also. But still, there maybe
the hub remains.
Yes, at least 3-4 years is required for us to be able to say Delhi need not be the place you need to go to for UPSC. Last year we had a major accident, major Bishop, you all know that, but still UPSC NCR region becomes the currently hub. Another 3-4 years it will change, but today we'll suggest it. In that context, I let NLU Delhi also becomes a gold
NLU
standard.
Delhi and the Delhi University. These two, they are not appearing in this preference, but obviously you can prefer it over the CLAT exams
for NLU. If you are very clear about that, that's the idea. Okay.
So then the next question is about litigation.
Someone who is very clear. I think Chandan, like you have friends, so I think litigation is all about network, right? Apart from the skills, a lot of people mistake. There are two types of skills: soft skills and hard skills. You go to NLU, you gain your hard skills, which is your knowledge, subject, all that. You try to get into moot court, right? A lot of these things, but soft skills are also practical. Yes, when you do internships, when you kind of intern with people, you're working with, that becomes a very important part when it goes to litigation, because litigation is all about that. Because a lot of litigation is also process. The amount of case law you read, the amount of case plan you do, you also need to understand how to handle a court, how to handle a judge, how to handle a bar and bench, how to understand a lot of these things, how to handle a client in that situation. A lot of these things you can learn only when you're near to a senior court. I think NLUs that are having proximity to a senior court, high courts, etc., I think you have a better chance of, in terms of internships, in terms of, I think making clear, you can do your bar exam and then suddenly you start doing it, it will make better. So in that context, I'll say, if you want to practice in Supreme Court, NLU Delhi, Rajasthan High Court, NLU, like that, or like that, anything. The idea is, if you're very clear, if someone of you is very clear about going to practice litigation, you can actually go choose a school near your nearest high court or something like that. Makes sense. That's what I would say.
And within that also, I would, because a lot of people think that Nalsar is Hyderabad, so it should be within Hyderabad. Within Hyderabad also, it may be at outskirts or something.
Absolutely.
So do your
research, right? Because when you say, you have to understand how much proximity is there. That's also important. Yes.
And then we have the next question is about judiciary aspirants.
I think people who are, I think here, this is where I just spoke about this, right? MNLU adjudication course. I think those who plan to get into specialized judicial courses, I think look at those NLUs where the ecosystem has some judicial coaching, etc. It could be the NLU itself working on it. It could be around NLU. There's something. So a lot of times it's not so much about the NLU rank, right? But it's about if you talk to the people who are there, talk to students who are there, alumni who are there, you will know what is that ecosystem like.
Right.
I remember distinctly when we were in NITs and stuff like that. We know these NITs are more popular for going abroad. These NITs are more useful if you want to go to make it to MBA. These NLUs are these NITs are very good if you want to make a computer science job. These NITs are good if you want to go for DRDO kind of job. So that kind of understanding you need to have.
Expertise of that particular.
So if you kind of understand it, makes sense. NLU adjudication is a great example if you want to get into judicial. You want to be a judge, I think that can be one of the preferences you can have, again within the tier, around that tier, not too much of overcoming NLSU or NULSR, but in that thing.
Sir, I would suggest students on consortium website, all of the NLUs have provided their brochure of information brochure, placements and everything. The subjects which are taught in first semester, second semester, the activities, everything. I think a student should take a moment and read all those things and take that as well into the
based on your chances, based on your preference, based on your ranking. Do take at least those 3-4 NLUs that you're personalizing, customizing your, all the others are within the area you're making the judgment. It makes absolute sense, like Chandan said, right? The data is in front of you. Download the PDF, read it 2-3 times, discuss it with a couple of people, and then read it. That's what I would say. I agree.
The last question is about the corporate aspirant. I know that this is not going to make any change compared to the first one. The top brass always remains.
No, I think this is where we have to kind of give an example. If you look at it, we are talking about what about those who want to get into corporate law, corporate law firms and corporate law, this thing, and those who want to go into litigation. In general, we want to say, if you want to get into corporate law, you want to get into placements, right? You want to get into law firms, big law firms and stuff. Generally, law firms prefer the top ranked law schools. You better go to top ranked law schools, top tier law schools, as much as available for you, as much as chance aapke paas hai. If you are very clear that you want to litigate, I would say top tier law schools are as good as someone in a next rung also, because litigation mein networking more important.
Right.
Internships more important.
And then proximity distinction.
Thoda importance kam ho jata hai. What I'm saying is, if you are very clear about corporate law, your ranking of NLUs will be exactly as per that.
Right.
That's what we are trying to say. Right. If you are very clear that you want to do litigation, thoda wo ranking ka importance thoda kam ho jata hai. The moment you kind of get into litigation, I think you being from NLSU Bangalore or NULSR or Jodhpur might not make a lot of difference. You're going to say I'm NLU, right? But the moment you go to corporate law, there's a lot of networking, placement. You want to say, hey, you're from this thing. So that distinction, I think, is then not there. That's what is the broad idea of this. Right. You're basically an NLU. Oh, you cracked CLAT. That's what happens in litigation. Okay, that's it. They're not going to make a super duper distinction between all those things in litigation. But it comes to corporate law, definitely that thing exists, because the people coming from that and within that I was in McKinsey, I remember very well, consulting, very much like your law firms, corporate law firms. We have consulting from IIMs. We have this thing because top tier consulting firms only go to few campuses. So we already know which campus you're coming from. And within that, you come from IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta. Now it is Kolkata, they're calling. These are top 3 IIMs. Like that, we have that thing. But if it comes to litigation, I think it has not really, the difference decreases. I'm not saying it is not there, but it definitely decreases. You need to focus more on internships, more on networking, more on soft skills, more. That is what I'm saying. Right? Yeah.
So with that, I think we have come to end.
Yeah,
a lot of questions were resolved, but still the comment box is always open. You add a comment, we will reply.
Yeah, please reply, Chandan. I think all the questions are coming, because I see whenever we have questions coming, Chandan, I suggest we reply. That's very important. I think other thing I want to say, like you promised already, whatever we put in, right, including that adjudication and other course also, let's fill that 35-36 courses ka preference order into a PDF form, and please upload it and tag it as the first comment under this video so that people get the benefit. You keep typing questions here. I think Chandan and other team, they'll answer. I think in even the other video that you said, I think there is good number of views, a good number of questions. Try to kind of depute someone from the team to answer it.
Surely, sir.
And I wish you the very best to all ALPNs and CLAT aspirants in general.
Thank you so much for watching this video.